When something is important enough, you do it even if the odds are not in your favor. Some people don't like change. But you need to embrace change if the alternative is disaster. Life is too short for long-term grudges. If something's important enough, you should try. Even if the probable outcome is failure. Patience is a virtue, and I'm learning patience. It's a tough lesson. If you're trying to create a company, it's like baking a cake. You have to have all the ingredients in the right proportion. I'd rather be optimistic and wrong than pessimistic and right. I think it's very important to have a feedback loop, where you're constantly thinking about what you've done and how you could be doing it better. If you get up in the morning and think the future is going to be better, it is a bright day. Otherwise, it's not. I think it matters whether someone has a good heart. People should pursue what they're passionate about. That will make them happier than pretty much anything else. Great companies are built on great products. I would like to die on Mars. Just not on impact. It's okay to have your eggs in one basket as long as you control what happens to that basket. I think that's the single best piece of advice. Constantly think about how you could be doing things better and questioning yourself. I think you should always bear in mind that entropy is not on your side. People work better when they know what the goal is and why. It is important that people look forward to coming to work in the morning and enjoy working. Brand is just a perception, and perception will match reality over time. Sometimes it will be ahead, other times it will be behind. But brand is simply a collective impression some have about a product. I think there should be regulations on social media to the degree that it negatively affects the public good. I always invest my own money in the companies that I create. I don't believe in the whole thing of just using other people's money. I don't think that's right. I'm not going to ask other people to invest in something if I'm not prepared to do so myself. Really, the only thing that makes sense is to strive for greater collective enlightenment. Any product that needs a manual to work is broken. I really do encourage other manufacturers to bring electric cars to market. It's a good thing, and they need to bring it to market and keep iterating and improving and make better and better electric cars, and that's what's going to result in humanity achieving a sustainable transport future. I wish it was growing faster than it is. There have to be reasons that you get up in the morning and you want to live. Why do you want to live? What's the point? What inspires you? What do you love about the future? If the future does not include being out there among the stars and being a multi-planet species, I find that incredibly depressing. Starting a business is not for everyone. Starting a business, I'd say, number one is have a high pain threshold. I don't create companies for the sake of creating companies, but to get things done. We're running the most dangerous experiment in history right now, which is to see how much carbon dioxide the atmosphere can handle before there is an environmental catastrophe. Rockets are cool. There's no getting around that. If we drive down the cost of transportation in space, we can do great things. It's very important to like the people you work with. Otherwise, your job is going to be quite miserable. I will never be happy without having someone. Going to sleep alone kills me. If you're entering anything where there's an existing marketplace, against large, entrenched competitors, then your product or service needs to be much better than theirs. It can't be a little bit better, because then you put yourself in the shoes of the consumer. You're always going to buy the trusted brand unless there's a big difference. I think we have a duty to maintain the light of consciousness to make sure it continues into the future. When I was in college, I wanted to be involved in things that would change the world. Tesla is here to stay and keep fighting for the electric car revolution. I say something, and then it usually happens. Maybe not on schedule, but it usually happens. When I was a child, there's one thing I said: I never want to be alone. That's what I would say. I don't want to be alone. I think life on Earth must be about more than just solving problems. It's got to be something inspiring, even if it is vicarious. I think it's very important to have a feedback loop, where you're constantly thinking about what you've done and how you could be doing it better. To make an embarrassing admission, I like video games. That's what got me into software engineering when I was a kid. I wanted to make money so I could buy a better computer to play better video games, nothing like saving the world.